Welcome to Legacy Engineered, the show where smart structure meets lasting success. Join Scott Arden, Chairman and CEO of Controllers Limited, as he sits down with business leaders, top entrepreneurs, and experts to uncover the strategies, stories, and structures that build lasting legacies. And now, here's your host, Scott Arden.
Welcome back to Legacy Engineered. I'm your host, Scott Arden. Today, we're joined by Samuel Sokol. Samuel is a co-owner and founder behind multiple 7- and 8-figure health businesses, helping functional and holistic practitioners scale with purpose through predictable growth systems. He's also a real estate investor and systems-driven operator who brings a rare blend of discipline, leadership, and long-term thinking to everything he builds. Samuel's work sits at the intersection of impact, structure, and sustainability, which makes him a perfect fit for today's conversation on engineering legacy. Samuel, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Super happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, cool, man. Well, how's your new year going?
It's going really well. It's off to a strong start. Very busy, growing things, doing things, but it's been very good. Very blessed.
That's awesome. Like we were talking about a little bit ago, that we're kind of doing that same thing at Controllers. We're growing. Things are great. Just looking forward to what 2026 brings. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. So I got to ask you, when you hear the phrase engineering legacy, what does that mean to you beyond business success or revenue milestones?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And for me, it's walking the path that for me, I'm a believer, right? So it's walking the path that God illuminates for me and doing things that are honorable to him and then other people that are looking at what I'm doing. So it's, family, it's colleagues, it's friends, it's people I'm called to serve, and making sure what I'm leaving behind or what I'm doing, again, they perceive as honorable, and ultimately God sees it as honorable for him, and he's pleased with the work that he's given me to do and how I'm executing on it.
I love it. Well, that's awesome, man. That's great. Great way of looking at it, if you will. Well, cool. So you've helped scale multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses. What decisions early on actually determined whether those businesses would last?
Man, it's what I've found in being a part of those businesses and then now coaching hundreds of other business owners on their own businesses is it's really taking imperfect action. It's so a lot of times your business can't be successful if it never gets started, or if you're slow to launch, or if you're concerned about making a launch perfect. And so it's just taking that imperfect action. And then as you're doing that, it's making sure that you do eventually get to the infrastructure around it. So as you start scaling and growing, it doesn't fall to pieces.
Absolutely.
And another big factor that I've learned too is be very revenue focused. Obviously you want the product you build, you want to be proud of it. You want to make sure that it's getting the people that you're called to serve the results that they want, the outcomes they want, the payoffs that they want. But if you're not marketing and sales focused, your product doesn't make it to anybody because you don't have any customers. So it's like,
right.
Focus on the marketing and sales first, get the customers in, and then you'll have an opportunity to give them an amazing product.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I always say. You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have an audience, you just have the best product in the world that nobody knows about, right?
100%. I agree full-heartedly.
I see a lot of people stall, they're like, it's almost ready. It's almost perfect. And you got to think about a business as it's not a piano, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to launch. You got to take that next step and learn from some of the challenges that you face early on and, push through, find a solution, whatever that looks like, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. So a lot of entrepreneurs confuse growth with durability. What systems do you believe are non-negotiable if someone wants, their work or their business to outlive them?
It comes back down to the revenue and sales system, the marketing systems, the client acquisition systems. If you do not have a growth engine, as I call it, it will not outlast you. You have to be able to consistently acquire new clients, new customers, in my opinion, in a way that's evergreen, that doesn't require you, the owner, to be there for the client acquisition. Because if it requires your face, your vision, your brain, if something happens to you, or, you want your family to run it or something like that, you can't, because your face isn't there anymore. So it's that growth engine that's evergreen without the founders or the CEOs or whatever's face attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all, succession planning. That's what we like to call that, right?
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
Can't build a brand just upon you, recently, I've kind of repositioned myself in my company where I am no longer the CEO. I've actually stepped aside as the CEO and moved somebody else in. I'm still chairman of the board, visionary, all that good stuff. But, it's all about building that succession plan that can live well beyond you, right?
Yeah, that's genius. That's awesome to hear that you've done that, because many people don't.
Right.
And then they're getting a tough spot later down the road.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Yeah, it was interesting, when you build a business and then you're walking out of your own company with your boxes packed. I go into my office and I don't even have an office there. I work in the conference room because I have my office here, my studio, all that good stuff. So cool, man.
That's the dream. That's what a lot of owners don't get to do, because they're stuck working in the business. Now you get to work on the business.
Absolutely. Bigger vision, exactly. But, point the direction of the ship of where I want it to go, and then have the right people in the right seats on the bus, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So you've built across health, real estate, and leadership. How has thinking long-term changed the way you choose where to invest your time or energy? Just kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't until, when you're new to entrepreneurship, you oftentimes don't think that way. And it wasn't until, I started working with you and then other people from this estate planning and tax planning and things like that, started to think a little bit more further out than just right now. So it's modeling people who are smarter than you, have been there, done that, know better than you. And so sometimes at first, when you get into things, you think you're smarter and wiser than you are, and you learn some hard lessons. You're like, I should probably partner with some people and learn from some people that know what the heck they're doing. So that's kind of what I started doing over the past few years, and it helped me think further ahead, make sure I'm investing in the right places, make sure I'm building businesses in a way that allow me to always be thinking about an exit plan. Like, even if you don't ever want to sell your company, you should always have some type of exit strategy, whether you exit it yourself or you want to sell it. And it's just thinking of those terms so you don't get kind of caught flat-footed.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and that's, kind of understanding where you want to go with everything, right? It goes back to that saying Stephen Covey in the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, says, begin with the end in mind. Have a clear vision, where you're going, how you're going to get there, and then essentially just reverse engineer that so you can identify the sequence in which, you insert yourself, you hire somebody else to do it, or bring on more team, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree completely. So,
well, I know you guys have had some challenges. We don't need to talk about them, but through those challenges, obviously you've learned quite a bit in what to do, what not to do. Tell me a little bit about that.
I learned through some of those difficult times that, and I know I want to speak for the colleagues that went through it with me, but you're capable of handling a lot more than you thought that you were, maybe.
Right.
So, in some of those difficult times, in losing millions of dollars in a business and trying to keep it afloat and some of these other things, it's like, wow, I actually am capable of working 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not getting burnt out, and going through those seasons that God sometimes gives you because He wants you to learn some stuff. And so, yeah, just learning those hard lessons and realizing that you can handle a lot more than maybe you thought that you could. And then when you're able to get out of that season and look back at the time, you're like, man, this like really kind of sucks. But when you look back at it, and I had a coach help me do this recently. It's like, look back and write down, just brain dump all the benefits from going through that difficult time. And like, you look at it, you got pages. I gained this skill. I gained this discipline, like all these things from that very difficult time. And it helps you be a better entrepreneur, a better business owner, a better leader, a better husband, whatever your situation is.
Yep, absolutely. Well, many founders burn out building something successful, but unsustainable. How do you design businesses that serve both the mission and the people behind them?
I think it's what you said earlier, Scott, and it's really important to bring on people that you trust and are loyal to the vision and the mission that you have, so you don't get burnt out. So you can have an infrastructure that's solid and can weather storms. And you cannot do that without the right teams and the right people and the right infrastructures. And we've learned that many times as well. We've gone kind of up and down with it. We ran what I call a fat team, which is like you really overhired. And then you're like, man, if we hit a hard time, then we had to cut 50% of the team. And like, we don't want to do that. And then we run a really lean team, and then everyone's wearing 100 hats. And so it just doesn't work out. You have to find that middle ground and find the people, again, that are loyal to you, your vision, your business. They want to serve the people you're called to serve just as much as you do. And, they have the skill sets or are willing to gain the skill sets. And in my opinion, it's the people that you put into the business. Without the right people in the right roles that they actually excel in, a business founders.
Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of alluded to this a little earlier in our conversation, but legacy often requires thinking in generations, not quarters, right? So farther out than just the immediate, right? So what mindset shifts do leaders need to make to move from operator to architect in your eyes?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I've started doing that more personally as we're thinking about exits at some businesses that I'm a part of. And something I've been learning lately is I find that brand is becoming more important. So thinking about personal brand. So if you exit a business or your business goes away, you've built something around your name. That way you can take your name with you and you can go open up to other things because you've built trust behind it. You built identity behind it, and you can pretty much go and start anything. And because it's attached to your name, it's likely going to be successful. So for me, it's just thinking, if I anticipate exiting a business in 5 years, it's thinking ahead of how I can plan from a branding standpoint. And then it's also investing, right, in my own name, but then obviously monetarily in some of the options that are out there to invest in. So when things change in the future, as far as business I'm a part of, I have things out there that are cash flowing and bringing in that income. So I have what I need when I'm in a new season of life and I'm not stuck and worried about it.
Right. Yeah. We call those the chapters of life, right? I mean, I know I'm probably 8, 9, maybe even 10 chapters in. So, just the journey that goes along with it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a journey. And the chapters are always turning and always changing.
Absolutely. Well, cool. So looking ahead, what do you hope the businesses and systems you've built will represent when you're no longer the one running them day to day? Really more, what does legacy mean to you? Not only in a business sense, but, also a personal sense. Everybody's got that vision of legacy. What does that look like to you?
For me, it really comes down to loyalty and just a high level of care. I'm not a super empathetic person, and so people know that about me, and so I can come off a little bit blunt and no fluff, and I just want businesses that I've helped build to kind of to adopt that mindset, and that, hey, like, we have such a high level of care and loyalty to the business, our colleagues, and the people that we serve, that we are going to show up in a way that will just shock people and be unbelievable, because no other people, no other businesses, no one else serves their customers, their colleagues, the people they work with the way that we do. That's what I want to leave behind. And I'm actually stepping back from one of the businesses right now that I'm an owner in and focusing on another business. And that's what I'm trying to leave behind right now, is just a high level of loyalty and care. Those are the two main things that I want people to adopt.
Right, right. So that's the business side. What about you? What's your legacy beyond the business? I mean, obviously you invest in real estate, build businesses. I mean, you do a lot of different things. What is the, for your kids, the future generations?
Yeah, for sure. So my wife and I do not have children, but we have lots of nieces and nephews, and I want them to see Uncle Sam as somebody that walked the path that God illuminated for him, the best that he could, and that he, wasn't afraid to take risks and seize opportunities. I've done that many times, and I don't claim it was me. God gave me the courage to do the things that he put in front of me, even if they were really hard. But I always, if it's an opportunity that even I was like, man, I don't necessarily love that kind of work, it every single time transformed into something that I ended up loving, earned me ownership in 8-figure businesses and things like that. And I just want them to see that, like, hey, when you take imperfect action, when you don't overthink, when you seize opportunities, when you walk in faith, it doesn't mean everything works out perfectly, but a lot of the times you're going to receive blessings in a lot of different ways. It might not always be money, but it might be skills or friendships or relationships. There's just many different things that it can result in for you.
Right, right. Well, Sam, what else do you want people to maybe know about you? I mean, hobbies, what's something you want people to know about you?
Yeah, I think it probably gathered it by now. I'm very faith driven, and so my faith is really important to me. I am a husband. I don't have kids, like I said, but my wife and I have been together for 12 years, and we are, again, the focus of our marriage is God, and so that's a big part of what we do. And so we're involved in our church, and we have a dog that's been with us since we got married, and so that's a big part of things. And as far as hobbies, I mean, I can get into that a little bit. I'm a gamer, so I like gaming. Me and my buddies, I have a core group of friends I've been with since high school. I'm 36 now, and we still get together multiple times a month. We chat every single day, and we game together twice a week. And they all have kids, we all have families, but we make it work. And I don't know, after talking to a lot of people, I found that a lot of people don't have a good core group of friends. So
Right.
That's really important too. It's like you have colleagues and you have business partners and these things, and those are great. They can help you grow in different ways. But personally, I think you need close friends that you can just relax with. You don't necessarily have to talk about business. I know a lot of business coaches I learn from say otherwise, like, proximity is power, and I agree, but I think you need that group of friends who can just help you stay grounded and just be in, parts of life with you that can sometimes be hard. They can give you that encouragement and that support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know I've got a good core group of friends myself. They happen to be business owners, but we don't always talk about business. We'll go out, we'll golf and, talk a little smack, have some fun, have some laughs, right?
I love that.
That's cool. Well, Samuel, this has been a powerful conversation, my man. I appreciate the clarity and intention you bring to what it really means to build something that lasts. And so, to our listeners, if this conversation sparks something for you and you're ready to take the next step towards protecting what you're building, structuring your business strategically, and or designing a lasting legacy, we invite you to schedule a complimentary consultation with our team. Visit www.controllersltd.com to book your session and start building with intention. Until next time, stay strategic, stay protected, and keep engineering your legacy. Thanks again, Sam.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. It was great.
Absolutely. A lot of fun, man.
Welcome to Legacy Engineered, the show where smart structure meets lasting success. Join Scott Arden, Chairman and CEO of Controllers Limited, as he sits down with business leaders, top entrepreneurs, and experts to uncover the strategies, stories, and structures that build lasting legacies. And now, here's your host, Scott Arden.